So part 3 of the body part training series for this week, and looking at lower body. Now maybe actually one video is maybe not enough to break down lower body training. Often people refer to doing a leg day, sometimes people refer to doing more like a push or a quad leg day, and then doing glutes and back of the legs, hamstring focused leg day as well. Once again, there's no right or wrong. There's no kind of, it's got to be done this way, got to be done that way. I've done different systems before, as I said, whole body training once, twice a week, done completely splitting everything up, body part training, do high frequency training program where you do actually almost a full body session on each day, but focusing in different ways on different body parts. Push pull is another one, push pull legs is another split, all sorts. We're going to go through those more in the plan that I'm going to send out and look at those options. But once again, the exercises are all the same, whichever way around you choose to do it. And our main kind of muscles in the lower body are quads at the front, glutes, down into the hamstrings, calves as well. And not everyone's favourite day is training legs, and some people love it. Actually, what I tend to find is ladies tend to train more of the lower body more often during the week because they are naturally stronger in that area, and usually, and there's a little bit of basis to it, they're thinking, I want to work my lower body because that is an area I want to change. Now, there is some use in that kind of thinking, except for the actual training is a stimulus. It's not, it is going to bring about change, but only when coupled with the right nutrition and the right calorie intake for the goal that you're working towards. So that being said, let's run through some fundamental movements and reasons for them, little training nuances, and then put a bit more of the kind of scientific basis of why we do it and what we're doing it for in terms of the training methodologies. So, kind of classic main exercises for the lower body have been squat, either with a bar or dumbbells. Use the bar here. Either a back squat out of a rack and back squat there, back into a squat. We do lots of these MW Fitness Online, obviously body weight. Then we've got round to the front, we've got a front squat, which is less commonly used but is a great exercise, particularly if you are taller, and for ladies if you have a taller torso, which can happen, as well as longer legs. It means the weight's out in front and you have a better point of balance. For longer legs, as the knees go forward, the hips go back, the bar travels more vertically up and down. The downside for this is when you are smaller, you have to have the right structure to actually physically get the bar onto your body. Not exclusively, but ladies more often struggle with that, which is where options such as the goblet squat comes in, with the weights round at the front and easier to hold. In a gym setting, leg press, different variations, therefore become quite useful because then the bar, the resistance isn't sitting on you in the same way and you are working in a machine. That's also a place where we tend to push the intensity up much higher. Particularly with the back squat, the front squat, sometimes the weakest part is not necessarily the legs, it's the form, the strength and the condition of the back and the core that is going to let you down and mean you can't push the set right to the maximum before actually your legs have done all the work. This is where combining exercises comes in. Just running through the fundamentals though now. Something you do see quite often, and it's the reason I've left my orange boots on today for this, is there's different theories behind the angle for your feet. Now, it sounds like quite a minor thing, but you might have been in the gym and seen people with Olympic lifting shoes, and it's basically from a lower at the front up to a higher bit at the back, or seeing people squatting with their heels up on the plates. The reason they do that is they've got the Olympic shoes or squatting on the plates is to lift that angle up, and that starts to negate some of the restrictions of not having the greatest ankle flexibility, and also for longer legs, in being able to bend and fold into a deeper squat position. If I raise my heels up, or anybody's heels up, it means the hips can go back more easily and down into a really deep squat. I've got fairly short legs, I've got quite short legs, so I could squat quite deep without lifting my heels up. But if I had a ratio where my legs were longer, particularly my femurs, having that heels elevated would work really well. The other time I use this, of course, is as a pre-exhaust or secondary exercise with another quad dominant exercise, to be able to get into a really good range of movement, to really thoroughly work the quads for the full motion, the range that can go in, to the full stretch and full contraction. Often use this after a leg extension machine, isolating the quads, then into this, or occasionally coming off something that's more for the back of the body, the glutes, or something like that, and then into this sort of exercise with it. So on that, just have the feet, heels quite close together to do that. The different feet positions, wider, closer, will then alter as well the main, not the main muscles working, but a bit more of the supporting muscles that work. A wider stance, toes out, will start to include more glutes and hamstring work, partly because you're getting deeper in, and partly because you could naturally push back further into glutes and the hamstrings to go down into the squat, or say on a leg press. Something I use quite a lot is a wide stance into a normal stance or close stance. It kind of pre-exhaust, it's taking the working energy out of the glutes and the hamstrings to then focus more on the quads. So it's just these little different techniques to work that little bit harder, and that often can mean as well that you don't have to keep on increasing the weight to get the same effect, which in terms of safety and form, that's a good thing. So that's the squat. It's the main kind of pushing for the quads. Now, working around to the back of the body. Another squat variation that is often can be used that starts to focus a little bit more on the glutes is with the trap bar. I've got a trap bar here, but if we use the dumbbells, think about the position. The trap bar allows you to get in, your hands are parallel to the side of your body. So as you go down, you're sitting that little bit further back. So trap bar deadlift is slightly more quad dominant than a normal deadlift, because the weight's at the side rather than pulling from the front. Classic deadlift, working into the glutes. We've got a similar setup and movement as with the bent over row, except we're going to have the bar hanging, and the weight will be significant enough to be challenging. So normal deadlift, engaging the hips, hinge first, that's going to go back, bar's travelling straight down, we're bending nice and tight underneath the bar, and we're reversing that and bringing it up. Often see people trying to hold the bar out in front. You don't need to hold it out in front, because actually if we've got a good hip hinge, hips going back first, that bar will travel down no problem at all. Subtle variation to the Romanian deadlift, and that is much more pushing back from the hips, slight softness in the knees, and almost rolling down the shins, keeping it really close, bringing it back up. Once again, with these deadlifts and Romanian deadlifts, the upper body is staying as though we're up, that posture's not changing. And the distance you go down is going to be dictated to by the flexibility and stretch of your hamstrings. So that is feeling like enough for me today. I've worked with other people that can almost get a bar with only small discs onto the floor, so it's going to depend on that flexibility. And the point where you're far enough down is where you can't go any more without actually using another part of your body to reach any further. So different applications there. So they're kind of some of the main compound moves, the squat and the deadlift, and their variations. So on from there, another very common lower body sort of training we see now is with the hip thrust. So that might be getting the pad on the bar, might be adding the band as well, particularly if you're training with me. That just increases the activation, which is only a good thing. And that bar is going to be up and across the hips, just keeping it light. We've done lots of variations of this with the Thursday night workout. Bars in there, dropping in, squeezing up, keeping that chin forward, head tucked, keep that chin forward and tucked to prevent the hip flexors at the front from taking over and it becoming a fight here and keeping the tension onto the glutes. Now recently there's been an ongoing debate, and recently there's been some research come out and has talked about what is better for working the glutes and the lower body in terms of muscle fibres recruited to how much work's getting done, and in terms of the benefits of squats and deadlifts versus the hip thrust and glute bridges, which have really become a lot more common. You see a lot more people doing them in the gym the last 2 or 3 years than you ever did before. And with what's called EMG, electromagnetic kind of testing, they literally hook people up through the skin, light electrodes, to see what's working in terms of muscle, what's working, what's firing with electric pulses that are nerves working into the different areas of the body. And they have found that a regular squat, a regular deep squat, has more firing in the glutes than a hip thrust. That is potentially on face value. You say, okay, so squat's the main one to focus on, squat variations, whatever that is. There is that, except for a back squat, a heavy back squat, is much more taxing on the overall body and the overall system than hip thrust or glute bridges. So realistically, you could probably only squat to the intensity needed to affect change once or twice a week. That being said, I've done a program for over a significant period of time called Squat Every Day, but it wasn't aimed necessarily at targeting, definitely wasn't aimed at targeting glute growth. So maybe you can do that once or twice a week to recover, to be able to repeat it. The beauty of the hip thrust is because it's a shorter range of motion and a squeeze contraction rather than a full long stretch. So the glutes have to fully stretch in a squat and then power up. Because we are coming through a hip thrust and squeezing up and putting it into a shortened position of contraction, that you can do it more often and recover more often from it. I'm sure you've seen people going into the gym 3-4 times a week doing the same lower body routine, and you think, how can they keep doing that over and over? If it's glute bridge, hip thrust dominant, they're probably going to recover quicker and be able to repeat it quicker. Personally, I would mix the two together. I would have both movements in. And even in workouts that I program, I'll have some sort of leg press or squat movement and then into a hip thrust, or vice versa. So a hip thrust with weights or bands, and then into something where you're going to stretch the quad, the glutes, as in the goblet squat with a hold as well, and then into the reps. Because then we're doing the contracted, shortened position of the hip thrust, squeezing up, and then we're doing the elongated position with the glutes and bringing it up into a different sort of contraction. So we're recruiting as many muscle fibres as possible, causing the most stimulation, all that tension from all the reps you've done. Maybe you've done 10, 15 of each, then you're actually going to bring about change in the body, and that's what it's about. So squats, working around the back, those are the big moves. Other movements, and I'll admit I greatly overlook these, been doing more and more of these, is single leg movements, either just a split squat, up and down, either side, or with the foot elevated behind, usually called a Bulgarian split squat. And this one you can get more range of motion down and up. And you see people also bringing the front foot up so you can get even more range. Great movements for correcting imbalances in their leg strength. Find out a lot, mainly with guys who've played a lot of football, going to have one leg much more dominant than the other. And then the lunge variations: forward lunge, reverse lunge, walking lunges. Now a lot of these went through with the bodyweight plan, and they can be really effective just on their own, particularly stacked up together. You don't need much weight often with split lunges, a split squat, or Bulgarian split squats to get a really good effective workout. So if the gym's busy, squat racks are busy, leg press is busy, you know, it's a classic Monday night straight after Christmas or straight after lockdown when we get back in the gym, if things really pick up, then there's options you can do. But the most effective and hardest workouts for me, in terms of, it's only one exercise, is just walking lunges. And just doing walking lunges continuously. We're talking 30, 40, 50, 60, up to over 400 at a time I was doing at one point. And the whole musculature of your lower body is getting worked, because as the quads get tired, then other parts are taking over. Your glutes are getting really well worked because you're in a constant long stretch position, up and over. You know, these things can't be overlooked. They might be seen almost too simple, but they are very, very effective ways of training. So in the gym as well, you're going to have your isolation machines, you're going to have your leg extension going forward, you're going to have your hamstrings either lying down or sat up, pulling those hamstrings down. We're going to have the sitting on abductor and abductor machines, and these are all exercises we can mimic with body weight, which we've done the kneeling leg extension, lying down, doing the hip bridges, popping the bands on to do the hip abduction, particularly squeezing out. All great exercises. Are they the most important? Yes and no. So for correcting imbalances and supporting the other exercises. But what I would say is with legs, other than warming up, as in using maybe hamstring curls to warm up for squats, quite a good effective warm up, using leg extensions for another warm up before going into another exercise. You're going to want to do the isolation exercises after your main compounds, particularly if you're going for big deadlifts, trap bar deadlifts, hip thrusts, and things like that. Just because the technicality is higher, therefore we want as much energy and focus to go into those exercises, other than doing warm-up sets. So going back to what I started to talk about a bit at the beginning, is that seeing people going into the gym and doing quite small lower body movements, expecting that to be helpful in terms of weight loss and fat loss. It's the same as anything else. The bigger movements you can make, the more muscle you can use, the greater calorie burn you're going to have and effective change in your body. Now, one of the principles of resistance training is that you are causing the body to adapt by pushing it into a high enough intensity that it's got to change. Doing lots of, you see it seated on the hip abduction machine, because yeah, I can feel it in my thighs and in my bum. Doing lots of those has a place, but not really for the main part, the main bits of your workout. You want to be doing, if you want to work in your glutes, some sort of hip thrust glute bridge variation, then onto exercises like that. If you want to see your legs actually changing shape, getting slimmer, more toned, whatever you want to call it, then actually the nutrition's got to be right and working in a much bigger range of motion than lots of leg extensions or do lots of little half squats. So that's another thing to bear in mind when programming these things, which is why I generally, depending on the individual, will look at squats, leg press, hip thrusts as the main things we're going to go through. And you know, some of the machines are great because then the weight isn't going through your body. You can work around injuries, you can focus on strengthening the core and the back in other exercises to work into those areas. So that is a bit of a go around on lower body training. One thing I've just thought of, because I can see the bench now, is I haven't put step ups in. I'm just going to grab this stool and add this on. Another overlooked exercise, as in not utilised enough, can be step ups. Now, at the gym, you're going to find different heights of benches and boxes, which is cool. You want something where your knee is just at 90 degrees or just above. There is an application for a high step up because the glute is more stretched. You want something to support on that, just so you don't overstretch and fall forward too much. So I often set that up with the TRX to hold on to. But a step up is highly effective as well. Often find, because it's exaggerating a regular movement, it can help to rebuild knee stability with people that have had knee problems and knee pain. Therefore, you'd start off a lot lower, but as a full compound exercise, if we've got the knee just above the hip, this is slightly for me, roll up onto that toe and then push up using the majority of the bent leg as much as you can. That's really effective and really hard work. Down onto the toe, so we've got no bounce out of this foot. Your natural bounce when you're walking comes from that little toe, it's your Achilles. So take that away, take that elastic effect to the Achilles away, and then up and down. It's going to be much harder. Another little tip to advance this one is to take it to the side. And that's not to say we're stepping across, we're still coming from the side, toe up. But now, there's no kind of jump forward, we're pushing straight up and down. I always recommend leaving a little space on the inside of the step so you can get up, touch and balance, easy back down. And we're going to intense double it up if we get that real slow control down as well. So as a muscle contracts, it's called the concentric. As the muscle relaxes, as in returning to the start position, it's called the eccentric part of the movement. If we control that and start to utilise that aspect of the movement as well, we're going to have much more muscle fibre recruitment, even in research, more than in the contraction. So for instance, change it slightly, if we're doing a chest press and we're controlling it down, then we're getting as much work, if not slightly more, from that controlled lowering as we are from the powerful pushback. So take it around the other way, with a press up, if we lower into it, nice and controlled, and then push out, we're going to get more work done into that target muscle. So pushing out 25 fast press ups, we're going to get more work if we do 10 slowly down and pushing out. Same with the legs, same with the squat. We've used it in some of the workouts. It's that slower eccentric, good boy, and then pushing back up. It's going to get more work. Add that into resisted exercises, either at home with your weights or back at the gym. Once we get back there, then you're going to get much more work done. So I've covered a whole myriad of exercises in the plan I'm going to bring out for you Friday, Saturday, Sunday, over the weekend. Once we've collated all these videos together by the end of the week, I have a little bit of a setup of different ways to work around in these with these exercises, where to integrate them, what to do with them, depending on kind of your body type preferences, and yeah, how to put it in together into a complete plan. So hope that's been helpful. If you've got any comments, want to have any more ideas, or this hurts when I do X and how do I get around that, then please drop me a comment now or send me a message. And then in just over 15 minutes time, we're going to talk about the menstrual cycle in the 6 p.m. Q&A. So ladies, hopefully be some interesting information, some science there, a bit of explaining of what goes on. And guys, it's worth understanding, because if it probably affects someone you're close to, and it probably affects you from time to time because of them. So see you at 6 p.m.